Hello, amazing coders. Welcome back to another exciting bitsbox coding adventure. In our previous lesson, we learned that computer follow instructions called commands. We also learned about the difference between the block-based programming and text-based programming. Today, we are going to put that knowledge into action. We will write real JavaScript commands using bitsbox and create backgrounds, characters, and also see if we can add text on our app screen. Are you ready to code? Of course, let's get started. All right. So before we begin, let's remember what we learned in the previous lesson. A command is an instruction we give to a computer. In bitsbox, we write commands using JavaScript. The computer reads our codes and follow our instructions. So today, we will practice three important commands, which are the fill, the stamp, and the text. These three commands will help us build the visual part of an app. So let's see what we're going to create today. We're going to create a simple app screen. We'll learn how to add backgrounds, add a character, add a text. By combining these commands, we'll start creating our own interactive app. Let's begin with the background. So the fill command is used to create a background. For example, now you open your project from the previous lesson and you want to create your own invention app. So the fill command helps create the background. So you can put a color there like this, as you can see on the screen, and you play it. So that's what the fill does. Think of the background as a wallpaper of your app. Without a background, your app would look empty. The fill command allows us to choose colorful backgrounds from the bitsbox asset library. Now, let's write the command now. So I'm going to erase this back now. All right. So the first thing I want you to do, you type fill. Note in bitsbox, our commands, all our codes are all in small letter. Fill. Then you open a bracket and you close the bracket. So these are the first thing you need to first type. Now, notice the opening bracket and the closing bracket is very, very important because the bracket will tell bitsbox where additional information will go. So we need to write something inside this bracket because every small detail matters in programming. Now, we don't know the background we want to put into this app. So we need to go to the library to see different backgrounds we have there and check which one we want. Now, let's click on the asset button. So you have the asset button here right beside the fish with the pointed nose. So a window appears like this, as you can see. So we have some labels at the top here. We have stamp, we have fields, we have different categories. So we are going to the field category. So you click on field, then you see different images of field we are going to be using. They are available backgrounds you can use for your app. So you can take a moment and explore. So for this text, for this lesson today, we are going to be using a field called like that is like a grassland. We're going to be using like a. But before we do that, let's search for. Can you see this app screen here? So when you click on a background there, you can see quotation mark. That is what you're going to type exactly. So let's try it out. So we come inside the field, the single quotation mark app screen, then you close it, then you play it. So you can see the background has been applied to your screen. But this is not what we're going to be using today. So we're going to be adding a background of like a campground. I'm going to be adding a character there. So the background we're going to be using, if you check your lesson notes, is called the campground. So you can go to the asset again, then you can search for campground. So to get the spelling. All right, so let's wait for it to load. All right, so see it right here. So you can click it to get the spelling, and you come right here and you type campground. Please make sure your scripts are all in small letter. Make sure your scripts are all in small letter. So now let's play it and see what happens. Now, here we go. So you can see the background we've added. So to test your background, just like I've been doing, you click on the play button. The play button will help you to see the things you have done to your app. So the next one is want to add a character. So as we know, for the background is called fill. So for the character, they are called stamps like this. Now, no S. So like I mentioned, you type the keyword, this field, this stamp, they are all keyword. You type, then you open and close the bracket. So inside the bracket, we are going to type the name of the object we want to add in quotation mark. So let's see what object we want to add. I'm going to add an ape. So let's search for. So I'm on fields, as I'm not seeing ape. So I'll come to stamp. So you search for ape right there. You should be able to get the character called ape. Or you can go ahead and just type it immediately into your project. Just give it a moment, it's gonna load. All right. So there we go. So you can see the stamp here, ape. So I'm gonna add it, quotation marks, then you play. All right, so can you see that now? So we've added a background of campground and a stamp called ape. So the next thing we're going to be adding now is a text. Though we might not be fully covering the text, but just want to style our stage, our app today. And we hand it here. So text. So type a text. The keyword is text. And don't forget your open and close bracket. Then inside it. So one thing you need to know is when you're writing JavaScript, when you're writing a letter or that is not a variable or a name or a word, you put it in quotation marks. So I'm going to write a text right there. How are you? How are you? So then you see that displays here. All right, so that is basic thing we are going to be doing today. So you can see the text helps you to allow us to put a message on the screen. So unlike the stamp and fill, the text doesn't come from the asset library. So you just have to type your text. You're going to look for what kind of text I can do. So this is what we have for today. So you can try it out, test out different things, and use different commands and see again. Now, but before we go now let's combine everything together. So if you look at this program now, we have a background, we have a character, and we have a message. So when you run the program, as you can see here, you have this. It's wow, right? It's amazing. Yes, you've created your very first bitsbox. This is exactly how many apps begin. But did you notice something? The computer follows command exactly as it's written. If you miss a bracket, let's see what happens there. You can see it says there's an error. So you have to take note. That's how smart it is. Computers are very smart, but they only follow the instruction precisely. So if you want it to do anything, give it the right instruction. Please don't make sure you do not forgetting of these things. Let me give us some mistakes that we should avoid. The first thing is forgetting the quotation marks. It's very important. If you don't put any quotation mark, it's going to give an error. So always put the quotation mark there inside the bracket for a words. The next thing is misspelling the asset name. If you don't write the correct name for this right campground, it's not going to work. You can see. So you have to fill in the right names. Next one, we'll talk about the bracket. Then the next one is typing out the commands incorrectly. If you don't type this correctly, right stamp, it's not going to do anything. It's going to give errors. Those are things you must take note. You understand? So it's your turn now. Try different background, try different characters, try different messages, experiment and see what happens. The more you practice, the more better you'll become. So are you ready for a challenge? So can you create a space scene or a jungle scene? What I mean by a space scene, you add a space background, what you can see in the space, a stamp you can see in the space, and add a text. So choose your background, character, and text that match your theme. So before we go, let's recap what we have learned today. So the fill command creates backgrounds, the stamp commands add characters, the text command displays message. So together, these commands help us to create amazing apps. Fantastic work today, coder. You've successfully used JavaScript commands in bitsbox. You created backgrounds, characters, and text. In our next lesson, we'll learn even more ways to make our app exciting and interactive. Keep practicing, keep experimenting, and keep coding. See you next time.